Is it a little square? Yeah, okay. So it's recording. So we're doing a little test run here just to show how to tab the solar cells, and you can see I've already got like 3 of them put together, and basically I put a little tab on the end of this kind of wire so that this is going to be the negative end because it's attached to the front part. So the pretty side is the negative side, and as they say, the ugly side, the gray side, is the positive side. So these little dots are the positive, and this pretty bit here that faces front when you have the cells laid down is the negative. So this would be the negative terminal. This will be the last part of the negative. So I wanted to show you how I am soldering the tabbing wire onto the cells. I'm going to let that one hang over the edge there. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm going to try it. Hopefully it doesn't fall off the edge. And what you do is you get your new cell that you're going to tab in there and put it on here. And you notice I'm not lining it up yet because I need to put some flux on there. So basically you just take the flux and kind of just put a dab on there. Same thing on this one. And then you're gonna move it over so it's lined up. And I noticed a lot of people, they have these big gaps. Like I've seen guys have these like gaps that are like 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch like this. I'm not sure what the reason for that is. I don't know what they're thinking is going to happen, but I'm making mine so that it's tight, so that it's only got maybe that looks like about 1/8 of an inch gap to me right there. So, you know, pretty tiny gap. If you look at this one here, you can see I've only got maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, something like that. So that's the way I want them. And I don't think there's, I mean, the only thing I can think of that people would be trying to avoid is having some of the tabbing wire touch one of the other cells that it's not supposed to, because there's some on the front here and there's some on the back. So I could see the concern that maybe that's going to happen, but still, as long as you have some space, it shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and start my soldering iron setup here. You have to be careful because even this little bit is hot and it will burn anything you touch it to. So you can see I've got some little nicks here that I didn't learn where I burned the desk. So here we go. Now I modified, this is another thing, I modified my soldering iron. It's a 60 watt, but when I first started working with it, I don't know if you can see that or not, but when I first started working with it, the tip on the soldering iron wasn't working very well. And it was a pencil tip, is what they call it, and it didn't seem to be spreading the heat out the way it was supposed to. So what I did was I went into my garage and just hammered it down and flattened out that tip. So now that tip is sort of more like a wedge. It's very flat on the end, and that is working a lot better. When I first started trying to do this, the tabbing wire wasn't sticking to the cells and it was sort of a big mess. So now that I've bent that over and it's flat on the end, it seems to be working a whole lot better. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so now that I've got it spaced the way I want it, and I just moved it all around, that's okay though. So what I want to do is set this right on top of where I want to solder next. So I need to make sure that my cell is just so the way I want it, and then I can start If you do it and it's not set right, it's going to be a problem.
I got your breakfast burrito.
Can you pause that?